The first part of this section is talking about maximum and minimum values of quadratics. And so to find the max and minimum quadratic, the first thing we do is we determine, well, does it have a max or a minimum? So we always can tell if it has a maximum or minimum depending on the leading coefficient. Now the leading coefficient is your first coefficient in a quadratic. That's always beside the x squared, or whatever variable it is squared. So you see here in the first one we have 2, in the second one over here we have -1. So the leading coefficient will determine what type of, if it's either a maximum or minimum. So if it's a positive number, it's going to be a U-shaped quadratic, and then that means you'll have a minimum. If it's a negative, like number 4 over here, it'll be an arch-shaped quadratic, and you'll have a maximum. So we already know number 1 is going to have a minimum, and we already know number 4 is going to have a maximum because of that. All right, next, to actually find the max or min, we have to find the x value of the vertex first. So what we do to find that is we use this equation (-b over 2a). So remember, in a quadratic, your first one is a, your second part is b, and your final part is c. Same thing over here for number 4. So we take those and we plug them into (-b over 2a), so (-b). Now you'll notice there's a negative already in the formula, and then right here for b we have (-x). So that makes 2 negatives, so that would be a +1 over 2 times a, and a would be 2. So what we get is 1 over 4 would be our x. That's the x coordinate of the vertex. Now you're not done. You then take that and you plug it back in for every x in your quadratic. Then that will give you your minimum value. So let's plug it back in. So it'll be 2 times 1/4 squared minus 1/4 plus 10. So we work that out, and let's see what our minimum value is going to be. So after we work that out, it comes out to be 9.875. So that would be the minimum value for this quadratic. So that would be the lowest value that the quadratic will go down to. All right, let's look over here at number 4. We already know it's going to be a maximum because it has a negative leading coefficient. So then we plug in everything to the (-b over 2a. So (-b), again, there's already a negative on the 4 right here. So it'll be a +4 over 2 times a, and a is -1. So that would be 4 divided by -2, which would come out to just be -2. So again, that's the x value. So then we plug that back in to get our final max. So we plug it back in, so it'll be negative parentheses -2x squared minus 4 times -2 plus 10. All right, so we plug all that in, we work it out to figure out what a max is. And after we work that out, we come out with 14. So our maximum would be 14. So that's the highest point that this quadratic will go to. So that's how you do your max and mins. Find your x value of the vertex first, then plug it back in to find your max or min. Don't forget to plug it back in. All right, that's how you find your max and mins. Next, let's look at solving a quadratic by factoring.